A very warm welcome to Genie's Crochet Corner. Today I'd like to just show you this lovely 2-row repeat crochet pattern stitch. It's ideal for beginners and even for the more advanced, and it makes up a lovely blanket pattern or a bag pattern or a cardigan pattern, and also for a shawl or a scarf. It's just a 2-row repeat, and what we're going to do is just work on a multiple of 6 chain, and the first pattern row is just double crochet 1 into each chain or into each stitch across, and then we just work the second pattern row with these and then just repeat again. It looks like this from the front, and then like that from the other side, and it can make up quite a nice cuddly soft blanket, also ideal for a baby blanket. So I'm just using a 6mm or J crochet hook, and I'm using that because I crochet very tightly. A 5.5 or a 5mm crochet hook will be just as good. Just see whether you're a loose or tight crocheter. And I'm using some 8-ply or worsted yarn, and I'm just going to make my slip knot, and then I'm going to chain my multiples of 6. So I'm going to chain 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I've got my multiples of 6, and the first pattern row is just 1 double crochet into each chain across, and we're going to miss 1, 2, 3 chain from the hook. So the 1, 2, 3 chain from the hook, and into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3 into the 4th chain. I'm just going to work a double crochet, and these 3 chain that we've missed, they count as a stitch and as the turning chain. So I'm just going to work my 1 double crochet into each chain across. This pattern also works up quite nicely with a chunky yarn and a bigger hook, or you can use a baby yarn with a smaller hook. So just the 1 double crochet into each chain across, and that's the first pattern row. And then just 1 double crochet into the last chain. So we've got our first pattern row, and we'll be working the second pattern row around this first pattern row. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, and this the 3 chain count as a stitch and as the turning chain, and because it counts as a stitch, I'm not going to be using this first stitch here. Over the following 1, 2, double crochet, I'm going to be working the first pattern stitch. So I'm just going to work an incomplete back post double crochet around this double crochet. So just a back post, the incomplete back post double crochet, leaving the last loop on the hook. So we're working over 1, 2 double crochet of the first pattern row. So I'm going between, so we've made our back post, incomplete back post double back post double crochet around this stitch, and we have this stitch here in the space before the second stitch, between the 2 double crochet. I'm going to insert my hook, pull a loop through, and pull a loop through that loop that I've made before, and I'm going to repeat that another 2 times. So just insert your hook, pull a loop through, and a loop through that loop on the hook, and we repeat that another 1 more time. And I have 2, 4, 5 loops on the hook. I'm going to pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook, and then through the last 2 loops on the hook. So we have our incomplete back post double crochet, and we've made our little puff stitch over here, and I'm going to work round the next double crochet a complete back post double crochet, and that is the pattern stitch, and we're going to be repeating that for the second pattern row across. So we have our 2 double crochet from the first pattern row round this double crochet. I'm going to work an incomplete back post double crochet, leaving the last loop on the hook, and then between this double crochet and the following double crochet, the space here, I'm going to insert my hook, pull the yarn through, and then pull the yarn through that first loop, and we repeat that 2 more times, so we have a total of 3. And just insert, pull a loop through, and pull a loop through that first loop on the hook, and we have our 2, 4, 5 loops on the hook. Pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook, and then the last 2 loops on the hook. So this is your incomplete back post double crochet with the little puff stitch, or the cluster we can call it, and then between those 2 double crochet, and then I'm going to work a complete back post double crochet around this double crochet here. So you have your 3 chain, your turning chain, and you have 1 pattern stitch, 2 pattern stitches. Then we just repeat that till the end of the row. So incomplete back post double crochet, and between that and the next double crochet in this space, insert your hook, pull a thread through, pull the yarn through, and then pull the yarn through that first loop on the hook, and we do that for a total of 3 times. You get like a mini little cluster or puff stitch, and we have 2 for 5 loops on the hook. Pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook and then the last 2 loops on the hook, and then we do a complete back post double crochet around the next double crochet, and we just repeat that till the end of the round in a row. So just in between those 2, insert your hook, pull the yarn through, a loop through, and pull through the first loop on the hook, and we do that for a total of 3 times. Pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook and the last 2 loops on the hook, and then our complete back post double crochet around the next double crochet. So it looks like that, and like that from the other side. So we have our 2 double crochet there, the incomplete back post double crochet, and between that one and the following double crochet in the space, just insert your hook, pull a loop through, and pull a loop through that first loop on the hook, and repeat that for a total of 3 times. And then just pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook, and then the last 2 loops on the hook, and then we just make a complete double crochet round the next double crochet. And then just pull through the first 4 loops on the hook, the last 2 loops on the hook, and then work your complete back post double crochet. And we come to our last 2 double crochet and the turning chain. We just repeat what we've done, the pattern stitch, incomplete double crochet. Just insert your hook between that double crochet and that double crochet in that space. Pull the yarn through, and then pull the yarn through that loop for a total of 3 times. And then pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook and the last 2 loops on the hook, and we work our complete back post double crochet around the following double crochet. We add our 3 chain, our turning chain. You can work your double crochet into the 3rd of the turning chain, or just go in and just work your double crochet that way. So that is the first pattern row. The second pattern row, we go back to the first pattern row, so we just chain 3 and work a double crochet into each stitch across. And then you just repeat the second pattern row. You can bring in different colours as you go. It would be preferable if you brought in a colour on the first pattern row like I have done here. So just bring the colour in when you're working, starting the first pattern row again. Or you can just use one single colour for the whole project. So you just work your one row of double crochet. And we're at our turning chain. I prefer to just go underneath with the double crochet. You can go into the third chain, and then you just repeat what we did on the second pattern row. Just make your 3 chain like we did here, and just work till the end of the row. And as long as you're working on a multiple of 6 chain, you can make it as long as you want, and just work first, second, for as many times as you want to. And if you a tight crocheter, just use a looser, a smaller hook, and if you a loose crocheter, use a bigger crochet hook. And I do hope this tutorial has been useful and helpful to you. Until next time, enjoy crocheting.